What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy Ashy Knuckles, top of the AM. Mm. My damn snowman mug. I really never really noticed it had this damn design on here. My favorite mug though. It's convenient. You know what I'm saying? Showing you the truth first in this motherfucker. What's up, family? You know your boy. You know your boy is gonna be there Monday to check your show out, man. You got one of the best shows on the fucking internet, bro. You built for that shit, bro. I'm in that thing. You know what I'm saying? For sure. LDBC, boy, I don't know how they get so much fucking hate, man. I'm entertained all week, bro. I ain't never used to parlay in nobody's chat. You know what I'm saying? Ever. So, what's going on, Brian David? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, man? Bro, the fight last night, man. First, I don't know if I want to even bring up the Errol Spence and Porter press conference today. I think I'm gonna wait till you do your show, Junior. So I'm gonna let you bring that out. You know what I'm saying? Because I know it's gonna be fire, and I'll just hang back in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Talk a little shit here and there. But anyway, man, the fight, bro. Manny Pacquiao versus Keith Thurman. I mean, God, dog. Let me begin. Well, Keith Thurman, one thing I could say about Keith Thurman, he was in tip-top shape and the boy was focused, as was Manny Pacquiao. He was in great shape and he was focused. And the bell rang. I'm expecting first round fill out. You know what I'm saying? I'm expecting first round fill out. To fill each other out, see where they at with it, seeing, trying to see what they're trying to do. If the other guy can kind of take away the other guy's game plan and, do what he got to do to make sure he shit on that dude's game plan. So I'm watching Keith Thurman, man. He's standing right in front of the guy. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to size him up, trying to see what angle he can throw these bombs on Manny Pacquiao. What's going on, Robert Stewart? Trying to find out which angle he can use to throw some shots at Manny Pacquiao, man. So he's filling them out. They're filling each other out. Then all of a sudden, man, I'm seeing Keith Thurman put his hands up and walk right to him. And I'm like, what in the fuck is going on, bro? I'm like, dude, haven't you seen this dude's history when guys walk to him? Dog, every time somebody walk towards Pacquiao and give him a target, Pacquiao beats the shit out of that target. In fact, walking to him with your hands up, isn't that what Joshua Clottey did? Isn't that exactly what he did? And it didn't work out for him either. He didn't get, stopped, but he was soundly defeated. And I was at the press conference. He said he beat me. He said he's just the speed. You know what I'm saying? Well, anyway, man, that I guess since Winky Wright was in town, and salute to Barbershop Conversations. He did an interview with Winky Wright because he asked him what made you use the peekaboo defense. And Winky Wright said, oh, it's just something that I use against Vargas. And I was like, hell yeah. Because I watched Winky Wright whole career. Because Winky Wright, before the Vargas fight, was a slick boxer. He used to fight overseas all the time. So if you wasn't watching fights overseas, you wouldn't have known. You know what I'm saying? So when he fought Fernando Vargas, he unveiled that peekaboo defense. And I mean, don't get it twisted. It worked. In my opinion, he beat the brakes off of Fernando Vargas. And Vargas, one of my favorite fighters, because Vargas was at a young age steamrolling everybody, knocking out everything. I mean, his first 17 wins were via KO. That's how good Vargas is. They rushed him too. They rushed his career. And it worked, but Winky Wright just didn't get the decision. He kind of got robbed in that fight. And Keith Thurman, I guess he thought he would do the same thing. So he goes right towards Manny Pacquiao, and I'm like, what in the fuck are you doing, bro? This is not what you do. This is not your game. You know what I'm saying? First of all, you got to have a good defense to do some shit like that. Number two, you got to be tough as hell because Pacquiao can punch and he's fast, and you gonna get hit. You got to be able to endure those shots, whether it's flush shots to the body or to the head, or whether it's to the arm or to the elbows or the forearms, because he gonna hit you. That's what's gonna happen. So I'm on Twitter and I don't tweet that much. You know what I'm saying? I'm on Twitter and I'm like, bro, oh shit, I done figured out this dude game plan. So what he was trying to do is he was in there with a 40-year-old man. So what was he trying to do then? Was he trying to take the fight to the 40-year-old man? No, he was trying to get Pacquiao to work. They'll constantly throw punches and try to, basically run out of gas through the course of a 12-round fight. He tried to use his youth. Keith tried to use his youth against the old man. And the only way he was going to do that is push the pace. How do you push the pace? You bring the fight to him, and everywhere he goes, you stay right in front of him and force him to throw punches at you. That's what happened. So I mean, I was like, well, it may work, it may not. You know what I'm saying? And in this case, it just didn't because the old man was in tip-top shape. He wasn't throwing punches for 3 minutes for every round, but every time he got that second win, his second win is like the start of a new fight because he coming with that heavy thunder. Now, don't get it twisted. Keith Thurman did not box on the move. He didn't, stick this dude and move behind an educated jab like I thought he would. I mean, the blueprint is out there. If you watch any of Pacquiao's 70 plus fights, you see what he got trouble with, like in the first Morales fight or in the third Marquez fight or in the Mayweather fight. The blueprint is out here on how to beat him. I don't know why these guys are not watching the tape and doing what they got to do to mimic those blueprints because history has shown us what troubles Pacquiao. Going straight toward him never has troubled him. He invites that. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it was a very ballsy game plan of Keith Thurman to do that because he know he don't fight like that. Number one, he know he don't fight like that. Number two, he has been hurt by big shots to the head. He has been hurt with big shots to the body, and I'm gonna touch on that in a minute. But during the course of the fight, man, he was hitting Pacquiao with some heavy fucking bombs, man. Straight rights, hooks, great body shots, and he was able to secure a lot of the rounds after the sixth round because Pacquiao on my card was leading easily at round 6. Round 7 is when Keith Thurman started to take over and push the pace. He was applying that pressure on Pacquiao. Pacquiao, I don't know if he was taking those rounds off. I mean, I guess he was because he came alive late in the fight when it really matters towards the championship rounds. So Keith was just leveling this dude. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, so the game plan working. The old man getting tired. Push it, put that pressure on him, press him, press him, press him. And Keith Thurman was hitting this hole with some big ass shots. I told y'all in that first video in that breakdown that motherfucking Pacquiao is a tough, scrappy little bastard, man. He is, bro. I don't know how this dude takes these flush shots and stay upright because he ain't a real welterweight. I mean, he a welterweight now. Excuse me. Because he's been at the weight for so long. He's had time to he has time to become fully saturated at the weight. You know what I'm saying? In fact, at the weigh-in, he looked more healthy than he has in years when he weighed in. He looked like he actually belongs at the weight. That's dangerous. That's scary. Actually, you know what I'm saying? But the speed was still there. The power is still there. He still darts in and out, making the mistakes, but yet and still, nobody has made him really pay for it. It's going to take somebody to have with really good timing and really tough and really good defense to catch Manny Pacquiao when he's darting in. I mean, I'm like, how the fuck? I don't know how he continues to do it 20 plus years, making the same damn mistakes in the ring. You know what I'm saying? Just darting in, chin up. It's almost like he's running and punching at the same time. Where they do that at? That's not fundamental. That's something Manny Pacquiao brought to the game. When you watch Teddy Atlas's video, and Teddy been on that bullshit. Since him and Stephen A been secretly meeting up after work and doing their own thing. They've been acting like they got a little secret connection. But on this radio, on this YouTube channel, which I just found out he had one this weekend, he said Pacquiao has been able to make what's wrong look right because he's always had the flaws. But he said in this fight, the flaws would be revealed to him and he would have to pay for them. But he was wrong. I was wrong. He continues to do the things that made him great. the things that defied boxing fundamentals. He continues to do that. It's almost I could think of another guy who did that for years, and that's Roy Jones, fighting with his hands down, moving around the ring, never putting his hands up in the whole. I mean, the whole 12 rounds, hands down, just using straight reflexes and pure talent, God-given talent to beat the brakes off of these fighters. So he don't necessarily fight like Roy Jones, but he's not fighting a fundamental fight still in his 40s, and he's getting away with it. So clearly age is not a factor yet. I mean, he is getting, you can see him fatiguing, but once he gets that second win, it's a whole new fight because he coming with that thunder again. Uh Salute Marvin Net, salute Wookie Wook. Coach Counter Culture Media. What's up, fam? So anyway, even though he was doing the same damn song and dance from the last 20 years, yet and still these young hungry champions aren't doing what they got to do to catch him in transition and put him on his ass. I mean, in fact, Keith Thurman is the one that got put on his ass in the first round, getting up smiling and shit, but not even realizing what he did to get put on his fucking ass. I'm like, okay, fine. You want to back away from Manny Pacquiao and you want to pivot off your left foot and pivot this way to go this way in the ring, but your hands down. If you're gonna pivot to your left hand need to be up like this to catch the return fight, to catch the counters. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know who the hell taught him it's okay to keep your hands down when you're trying to retreat or you're trying to move around the ring, but you got to use fundamental boxing when you're in there with the elite. Point blank period, or you're gonna get hit. And if you know you ain't got a real big chin or you can't take a really big punch, you're only asking to get knocked the fuck out. Point blank period. So at the end of the day, it was a ballsy game plan by Keith Thurman. It was ballsy to try to implement that because I'm sure they didn't work on that in camp. You don't come to your 30th fight as a professional being undefeated and just try something new in the biggest fight of your career. It was something that he saw in that ring. I mean, he must have literally had no respect for Pacquiao. I know he was calling them T-Rex arms, talking about how he was going to crucify him. I can't wait to punch you in the mouth, this, that, and the third. You would have to have zero respect for Pacquiao to just throw all your skills and attributes away and to walk towards that man like that man don't have no speed and power. Like he ain't just knocked out like 40 some odd individuals. Like he ain't just go through 8. Actually, he went through more divisions than 8. He went through like 10 divisions. It's just 8 of them he was champion in. He had to have, I guess he just didn't have no respect for Pacquiao. But you got to get back to doing what you do. And as a dude who box on the move, you need to use your damn skills. Use the ring, bro. Put that stick on him and use your legs, man. Use your youth. You know what I'm saying? And like I said on Twitter, I guess boxing and moving is just overrated because Keith Thurman tried to summon his inner Hercules and try to outman Pacquiao, But like I said, after the 6th round, he had he did some real good work in there, and it was working. He was beating Pacquiao up to the head, hitting him with big right hands. Pacquiao that's a tough, scrappy little motherfucker, man. He was taking some big shots to the body too. But it was all for naught because when Pacquiao got his second win, he started coming with that heat. And when he was touching Keith, you could see the effects on Keith's face. He wasn't hiding nothing. He couldn't camouflage it too long. But the good thing about Keith Thurman is the fact he was in tip-top shape. So he was able to endure it and keep fighting. You know what I'm saying? And that is until the 10th round when he hit Keith Thurman with that liver shot. And liver shots do what they do. They freeze you, bro. It's 2 things going to happen. 3 things. Either you're going to take it well and continue fighting and camouflage the pain, which is very hard to do. A liver shot is, hey, you see what it did to many fighters in the history of the sport. D-Style had a video yesterday talking about how the fighters in Mexico practice that punch. That is a signature. I mean, I said it's a signature Mexican punch. Obviously, many fighters outside of Mexico use that punch, but they coined that motherfucking punch in Mexico. You know, Puerto Ricans use it, Negroes use it, whites, Europeans, they all do. But nobody uses it like Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why, when you hit a guy in their liver, three things they're gonna happen. They're gonna camouflage your pain and keep fighting, which is hard to do. They're gonna freeze in place. And either they're gonna go down or they're gonna try to find a way to get their faculties about them. Or three, they're gonna drop like a ton of fucking bricks and give up the ghost. And in that particular instance, Pacquiao hit his ass with a mean liver shot and bagged away. And Keith didn't go anywhere. He stood right there, and everybody knew, oh shit, he hurt. And he was hurt because them liver shots are hard to deal with. Keith starts retreating all the way around the ring. He spit his mouthpiece in his glove, probably like, whoo, trying to get himself back together because them liver shots, boy, they hurt. They hurt like hell. But kudos to him. He was in tip-top shape. He endured that shit. You know what I'm saying? And he kept on fighting. D-Style, what's up? I was just talking about you, fam. What's up, bro? You lost your voice. I bet you did, screaming at the damn TV. You probably was fucked up too. Marvin S says most Mexicans fight on the inside. Exactly. Exactly. And that left to the body is key. Prime example of somebody who uses that left to the body. Canelo. Canelo right now is probably one of the best fighters who use that left to the body, and he sets it up very well. Ask Triple G about that. Oh, that was a dig. That's a dagger. That's a dagger to the gut right there. Robert Stewart said Keith jab was absent all night, all fucking night. Like I said, I don't know who the fuck told him abandon the things that you do well. Abandon the things that you do well and just try to outman them. That was a dumbass game plan. It was ballsy though, but it's just totally the wrong game plan. But still and so, with that game plan, Keith Thurman fought hard. He put his heart out there. He put his heart on the line. It was several points of this fight. He could have packed it in like Chris Algieri. He could have packed it in like Algieri did. Just didn't give, no effort. Every time Pacquiao just touched him, he just fell down. As soon as they interview him, oh, Manny Pacquiao, man, Pacquiao this, Pacquiao that. He joined the bandwagon like he was Filipino, man. I see that dude fighting him. When he fought like a straight punk, straight up, didn't go for it. You know what I'm saying? He just refused to be great. Don't want to try to be great, And sometimes you got to sacrifice, man, in order to accomplish these major feats, man. And that's why I give Keith Thurman a lot of credit because he put himself out there. He thought maybe he can implement it and press the fight towards the older man, try to get the older man to tire out and punch himself out so he can use his youth against him late in the fight when it counted. And it just didn't work because Pacquiao had great conditioning even at 40 years old. So it was a ballsy game plan. It was ballsy to try to keep pressing Pacquiao to work. It was, but it was the wrong game plan, But hey, if he would have knocked Pacquiao out late, Keith would have been the dude. Everybody would have been talking about how he was brave to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? So it was crazy, man. But still and so, man, I thought he fought a great fight using that game plan. He just wasn't doing enough to secure all the rounds that was necessary. And at the end of the day, he lost the biggest fight of his life and took a beating. I'm gonna probably watch some of those interviews, those post-fight interviews, and look at how his face is swelling. You know what I'm saying? I want to see how bad the swelling is. It's gonna get worse. I'm sure right now he's fucked up right now. Keith Thurman probably asked his cut man to use the N-swell. Like, let me take that N-swell home for the rest of the night. He was gonna be putting a steak on his face or something all night long to keep that swelling down. Because Pacquiao, he touched him up real good. But even still, when they interviewed Pacquiao, he said Keith Thurman is a good fighter and he's very strong. And props to him for that because Keith Thurman hit him with some bombs. and Pacquiao walked right through that shit. D Style says, haha, not fucked up. I just called like 6 hours of fight in 2 days on YouTube. Yeah, you when you busy, bro. I've been trying to check your shit out, man. You got some good shit. As usual, you've been popping out videos, good videos for years. So Manny could have knocked him out, but Manny had remorse. Lucky for Keith. Uh, I don't know, man. I thought maybe if he continued to press Keith, he could have got him out of there. But he 40 years old, and I think he was. I think he did spin his load in that fight. I think he kept getting the second win and coming back. And or maybe he just had remorse for him, like you said, man. It's kind of hard to gauge, where they at with it because only the fighters know what's going on with their bodies. And I thought he was really going for the knockout in the 11th. And the reason why is because he hurt Keith real bad in the 10th. And then in the 11th, Pacquiao started going towards that body again on Keith's right side. He started going towards the body. And Keith wouldn't give it up. He was moving, always pivoting off his left, moving around the ring. I think if Keith would have stayed in there in the cut and continued to fight him in close, Pacquiao would have found a way to sneak another left hand down there and probably put Keith down again. So props to Keith for surviving and doing what he had to do to at least get to the championship rounds and end the fight on his feet. How'd I score the fight? I had it 8 rounds to 4. I had it 8 rounds to 4. And maybe I probably gave a couple of close ones to Pacquiao that I probably should have gave it to the champion because, hindsight being 2020, they were fighting for Keith's world title. But to me, it just seems like Pacquiao was in more control of the fight for the duration of the fight. And, it just looked like he wasn't out of the fight at all. And Keith was doing what he had to do to get back into the fight. So since the momentum was with Pacquiao for most of the fight, some of the close rounds I gave to Pacquiao. It don't matter that I thought Keith Thurman was going to win the fight. I also thought Keith Thurman was going to box on the move. And he didn't do that shit, But you got, I watched a couple of videos before I crashed last night. You got guys talking about, man, I told you Pacquiao was going to win. What the hell is wrong? You know what? Dude, he an 8 division champion. Way to step out on the limb and choose an 8 division champion in a big fight, boy. You're a boy. You one hell of an analyst. How did you do on the undercard? It don't matter, man. You ain't gonna ever predict all these damn fights right. That's why I always say the ring is gonna sort the facts out. Ain't nobody damn what's the name, a psychic. It's 2 men in the ring. It ain't no video game. You can't enter in a cheat code and then the fight just plays out how you had it in your mind. It don't work like that. This is square circle is boxing. They put their hands on each other, and the best man that night, it don't have to be the best fighter. The guy that night with the best game plan, the guy that night with more desire, the guy that night that wants it the most is gonna win the fight. That's the way it works. You know what I'm saying? Not because, I picked this guy. Fuck out of here with that shit. Ace Boogie says, what's up, Ashy Knuckles? What's up, fam? Do you think Keith messed up by taking the fight and not having Pacquiao take the VADA testing? At the same time, Keith Thurman ain't take that VADA testing either, I don't want to keep beating a dead horse on Pacquiao and his possible performance enhancement drug use. I think there was a time when Pacquiao may have been on it because the way he was acting, the things he was saying, and his avoidance of taking the drug test. And at the time, that would have been the biggest fight in the history of boxing. I think at that time, and when he had Alex Ariza in his corner, I'm not trying to call him a cheat, but a lot of things they were doing was suspect at the time in terms of not wanting to take the test. And they had the old media, y'all know, the Steve Kims, the Dougie Fishers, all of them. They had them all on their jock because they would not put pressure on these guys. Now, within that same time frame, you hearing guys on ESPN calling Barry Bonds everything but the child of God because they thought he was on performance enhancement drugs, but he took the drug test and he didn't fail it. But Pacquiao flat out refusing to take drugs. I'm sorry, flat out refusing to take a drug test. You know what I'm saying? And they like, oh, he shouldn't have to. He never pissed dirty. It was just a big bias, and we all know why. I don't even need to go into why, but we know why because it's always like that. We always used to catching it the worst, and not even just us, just minority. So, and I don't give a damn what nobody say about that. I lived it. You know what I'm saying? I lived it. You got a problem with what I say? Go take it up with your president. Anyway, but at this juncture, at 40 years old, I don't know for sure if Pacquiao would is dope. Nah, I think he did it naturally, man. I think he just worked hard. He always been a hard worker, and he showed up and he whooped Keith Thurman's ass, took his title, and made himself a player in the welterweight division. You know, Pacquiao fought like Pacquiao. He didn't do anything different than he ever does in his fights, and it worked out for him again. And Adrian Broner's talking that cash because Keith Thurman was talking down on him, but Keith Thurman fought Pacquiao way harder than Adrian Broner fought Pacquiao. But Adrian Broner defended himself way better than Keith Thurman defended himself. So it's two different fights, but Keith Thurman ain't got nothing to hang his head down about except for the fact that he just used a terrible game plan, going in. But like I said, it was ballsy. It just didn't work. The undercard. Who was on the undercard? Don't really have much to say about Lipinets and the late substitute, except for the fact that Jay Nady needs to never referee a major fight ever again because he drops the ball every time. The guy got up before the count of 10. He is not an American fighter. So you got to take that into account. He's up. He's looking you in your eyes. He has his gloves up, and you got to give a guy a chance in a major fight. You know what I'm saying? I don't ever want to see that dude again. Honestly, I can't stand Jay Nady. Straight up, bro. Salute, Clutch City. I don't want to see Jay Nady ever referee a fight again. Point blank. Period. The dude trash. These guys work their ass off to get to that point, just to have him just take the possibility of victory out of their hands. The fight was just really getting started. Okay, bam, boom. He got count with a mean counter left, perfectly placed. Damn near all the fighters who in that predicament would have went down, but you got to at least give them a chance to continue fighting. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like he was just stumbling around the ring, getting up and falling back on the ropes or anything like that. He got up and he put his hands up. He was smiling. He was looking at Jay Nady. It's loud in there. You got to give a guy a chance to fight. So fuck Jay Nady. In the Ugas versus Figueroa fight, that they kind of played out the way I thought it would. I know Figueroa was going to do what he do. He was going to try to bring the fight on the inside, try to rough Ugas up. He was going to come with that jab and that slick ass overhand. Nobody ever sees that overhand, but Figueroa wasn't throwing enough of them, man. He wasn't throwing enough of those overhands because the little ones that he threw, they made it in. But Ugas did what I thought he was going to do. He was going to mount the attack from the body up, and he did. Well, actually, it could have been from the jab down. He would jab, and then as Figueroa was coming inside it, boom, boom, combos to the body. Throw combos to the body. He would throw counters to the body. The attack was going to go to the body. It was a perfect game plan. Figueroa always come in looking real tender around his midsection, and Ugas basically beat the fight out of him. But Figueroa wasn't out of the fight. He just was not fighting. He went the distance. I don't want to say he was trying to survive, but he wasn't mounting no attack because everything that he was trying was getting shut down. And Ugas would have done a little bit better if he would have continued throwing it overhand. The overhand found its target. It put Figueroa down in round one, but he kind of took his foot off the gas with that particular punch and just tried to make the attack primarily towards the body. And when he felt that Figueroa was getting a read on the body shots and protecting the body. All we did was send those body shots up a little bit higher and start doing uppercuts, and that's when it started landing around the face region, around the high off the chest, and he couldn't miss because Figueroa has a bad habit of switching between southpaw and conventional orthodox. And the best way to hit a guy who does that while he's on the inside is to hit him in transition, because at some point when they turn it from one side to the other, you got to square up because you like this, and then square. That's look at all that target, and then you're not on this side. You know what I'm saying? These being feet. If these were feet, just think about the body standing up. So you like this, you know what I'm saying? You conventional, and then boom, you trying to square up at some. I mean, you trying to turn to a southpaw. At this point, you're squared up. That's where your target is, and now you're southpaw. So all he did was just hit him in transition as he was walking in, and the target was there. You know, he could never get out of the way of those body shots. And I thought it was a great game plan. I had a feeling that's the game plan he was going to use um, going into the fight. But the referee, Mora, forget his first name. Yeah, what a fucking terrible referee he is, man. He kept warning Ugas for holding. Actually, they both did their fair share of holding, but Figueroa likes to fight on the inside, and if they're not holding, their torsos are literally touching each other. So it's a natural inclination for fighters who are in close like that to clinch and to tie each other up. It's not holding because when the fight is going on, he's not trying to tie Figueroa up. He's trying to hit him. He's throwing punches. You know what I'm saying? It's just that when they're that close, he has no offense when they're that close, and most fighters do not. It's a natural inclination to tie each other up. So I didn't like the way he took that point away from Ugas and didn't take a point away from Figueroa, but it didn't matter. Um, the game plan worked, hook, line, and sinker. But with this referee Mora, we've seen him drop the ball in big fights. If y'all recall, when Abner Mares had that fight with Joseph Egbeko in the first fight, Mares hit him with so many shots to the fucking balls, low blow after low blow after low blow in front of the referee, and the referee never said a word. That was his career worst performance in the ring, and he never really got back from that. But he got this opportunity on the undercard of Thurman and Pacquiao in the Ugas fight, and to me, he's still a trash referee, man. He never learned from that particular outing, and he don't ever need to be. Both those guys, Neri and Mora, don't ever need to be on a pay-per-view card again. They are trash. I'm not saying you got to be Smoker and just let the fighters kill each other in there. I love Smoker, boy. Smoker was awesome. You know what I'm saying? Or you don't have to be Mitch Halpern, rest in peace, the young referee that killed himself from back in the game. He was a young official, but he was good. You don't have to be Mitch Halpern, but you Kenny Bayless is okay. He's gotten better. You know what I'm saying? But those two, Mora and Vic Draculich, my God, get him the fuck, man. These dudes are trash, man. These dudes are garbage. Junior the Truth said Omar looked like he trained himself, and so does my wallet. What you bet on Figueroa, bro? The fight looked was boring, but I'm glad Ugas got the victory. I think without the referee interfering, it was gonna make for an action-packed fight. But I think Ugas, felt he was fighting Figueroa and the referee, and he didn't want to let the referee dictate the outcome of that fight because he took a point unnecessarily. So when you in that predicament where you got this he's a tough guy, Figueroa's tough. We all know what he come to do, and then you got the referee taking away points. It's like it's a double-edged sword, man. So they both were holding, but one thing I will say Ugas was doing, he was pushing, which is illegal. That is a foul. Pushing, you can't do it. I mean, I'm not gonna get on Amir Khan the way he was pushing Lamont Peterson all over the ring years ago in their fight, and then act like Ugas didn't do nothing wrong. So if you were gonna take a point for the pushing, not for the holding, because they both were holding. They both were holding, and a lot of times it wasn't holding, it was just a clinch. Their torsos were touching each other because Figueroa likes to get in close, and your natural inclination is to tie the opponent up, and they both were doing it. And Figueroa was the only one holding and hitting, so you got to take that into account too. But at the end of the day, the fight went the way it went, and one guy was mounting the offense primarily, and the other guy was getting touched up to the body. Figueroa gave that fight away. I don't give a damn what nobody say about it. Even his corner was telling him, like, you got to come alive, bro. At the end of the day, the ring is supposed to sort it out, and you're supposed to come to fight, and only one guy was mounting an offense. So Figueroa got nobody to blame but himself on that. Zone 6, what's up, fam? What's good? Junior Truth said I put 100 on Omar. Hey, man, hey, at the end of the day, we know what Omar do. It wasn't a bad bet. He just didn't do what he does. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if Ugas just beat the fight out of him and that was the end of that thing, or he just laid an egg, you know what I'm saying? On the undercard, in the co-main event, leading up to the main event, when damn near everybody who gonna watch the main event is watching some of this co-main event, and he just dropped the ball, man. Well, maybe that's just Figueroa. Maybe he just fights for money. Maybe he don't want to be great. Ugas was holding. Yeah, he was holding. They both were doing some holding. Ugas was tearing his ass up to the body too. Yeah, I called the Ugas fight wrong. I'm eating crow on that fight. Hey man, it happens. Can't nobody get all these fights right. I said Thurman without box Pacquiao. He went in there and didn't box at all. He tried to walk him down and outman him. Try to get the old man to, spin his load. He tried to use his youth against him. And at the end of the day, Pacquiao showed that he had a whole lot more gas left. It was like I said, it was a ballsy game plan, but it was the wrong game plan. Yeah, I think he laid there. He did, bro. D Block up in his hole. What's up, fam? I'm late, but how you scored a fight? I had an 8-4, bro. I thought Pacquiao was in control most of the fight. I think even and that's only because Keith was down and he was getting back into the fight. So the rounds I gave him, he won big. And the close rounds, I probably should have gave to Keith Thurman because he was the champion in the fight, but I gave him to Pacquiao because he seemed like he was more in control. So it was a couple of swing rounds. I think Keith had the opportunity to take the fight and really put it in his favor until he got hurt in the 10th. Because up until the 10th round, the fight had turned completely, and Keith started taking control, even with his game plan of walking down Pacquiao, because he hit Pacquiao with some bombs, and Pacquiao took him. But in that 10th round, when he hurt Keith, he swung the momentum back in his favor, and it was all downhill from there. Even though Keith would win another round or two after that, but maybe a round after that, maybe a close one, maybe a tie, a draw in one of those rounds, but he didn't win the fight. He lost his title last night, point blank. But if he would have stuck to what he does in the ring, boxing on the move, lining guys up for big shots, I still think Keith could have won that fight if he would have used the skills that made him champion. You know what I'm saying? And not just switch and on a whole nother game plan and walk towards him. I mean, everybody that walked towards Pacquiao has gotten their ass beat. It just wasn't a good game plan. It was ballsy, but it wasn't a good one. That's D Block. I anticipated Thurman using movement to make Pacquiao work. Step and trade. Yeah, bro. Yeah, Junior. It was dumb. But fuck it. He took that beat and he got that check. But even still, and let me be candid on this. You know what I'm saying? Even still, I give Thurman a lot of props because he fought with a lot of fucking heart. He fought with a lot of courage. I'm a fan again. I don't know about y'all. I don't know about anybody else, man. Because he could have easily went out like a little hoe. And he didn't. He proved he was championship quality material. And he stood in the cut and he fought Pacquiao and he brought it to him, He just didn't win the fight, and he got touched up. He could have laid it down like Algieri did. And get on the mic in the interview and start dick riding. But he ain't do that. He fought that man. And Pacquiao gave him his props, when he could have been like, who on the cross now, nigga? He could have did that, but he didn't, Pat can easily avoid punches like on Rio's fight, but he probably saw Keith's wife looking sad watching for the first time and gave Keith a win. That's wrong, bro. Man, ain't nobody doing that, bro. In the square circle, boy, ain't nobody looking in the crowd, having sympathy for folks. Man, you got a dude on the other side of the ring that's trying to take your fucking block off. You know, it's kill or be killed in that thing. You know that. You know what I'm saying? So ain't Pacquiao ain't trying to just absorb shots because he want to get hit. He gonna have some medical problems late in his career. Number one, because he's been fighting for over 60% of his lifetime. He been in the ring taking punches, whether sparring or fighting. Yes, he can continue winning. Yes, he can continue being at the top of the welterweight division among the top fighters there. But when he fucking retires, man, he gonna have hell to pay because all the punishment he has taken in his career, it's gonna come back on him, bro. Look at Sweet Pea. Sweet Pea didn't get hit nearly as much. He would have got Sweet Pea got hit 5% of the time that Pacquiao's been hit, and even Sweet Pea's voice was kind of slurred. So boxing is unforgiving, man. Pacquiao need to consider all that, before he moves forward. But if you want to keep fighting, fuck it, that's him. But he's doing great, I mean, he continues to show why he's an all-time great. Salute to that man. He doing what he do. Um, you make the 40-year-old move around. Yeah, use them legs, bro. Use them. He got old legs. I mean, he still look young in there, but you wasn't making him use them. So when you take the fight to him, he ain't got to move nowhere. And if you keep giving him a target, he ain't got to work to find it. You know what I'm saying? The whole point is to make the old man work. I'm with you on that, Junior. I don't know what the fuck Keith was on. Honestly, it seemed to me that Keith kept getting caught on the way out more so than when exactly he was. I think and one of the biggest things is when Keith would pull out and pivot off his left, this arm was never up when he pivoted out of there. That's how he kept getting caught. Kept getting caught on that pivot, He went down once from that punch, but he continued to get hit by it. So props to him for enduring those shots later, as the fight went on. But he gets no props for not protecting himself at all times. You know what I'm saying? You in there with somebody who got speed and power, who darts in. It's hard to time that boy's foot speed, man. That boy Pacquiao be coming with that thunder, though, So stay ready, TV. What's up, family? Ain't nothing going on over here, bro. Just woke up, got me some coffee, man. Doing this little old video, bro. It is what it is in this thing. Lennox was saying to slip the punches, not retreat like Keith Thurman was doing. Keith Thurman got caught with the same combo too many times. Yeah, Pacquiao throws a lot of the same combinations. He does. He does a lot of the same things he's been doing for the last 20 some odd years, man. I mean, don't get it twisted. He does use angles, but when he attacks, it's in straight lines. I don't know how everybody don't see that shit. When he come in, when he attacks in angles, it's only a jab and another punch. It's a 1-2. But when he attacks primarily, it's in straight lines. Pa, 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 like he's running in. That which is totally unconventional. It's not fundamental at all. I've never seen nobody throw punches like that. But he did what he done. I mean, he went through 8 divisions doing that shit, and he still continues to get away with it. Only Marquez has made him pay for fighting like that. Lined his ass out with a cold ass overhand, put him on his ass, which I thought Keith Thurman was fast enough and strong enough. Well, we know he was strong enough to do it because even Pacquiao gave it up to him. But he just didn't get the job done, man. But still and so, let me make sure I say this a third and fourth time. Thurman fought a hell of a fight. He fought hard. He fought strong. He showed a lot of heart, showed a lot of courage. And it was a ballsy game plan. It was just the wrong game plan. But I'm not going to hit him hard too much. You know what I'm saying? Because he stood in that thing. You know what I'm saying? And showed some real toughness. And like I said, I'm a fan. I'm a fan again. I thought he was falling off. We looked in the audience and saw that woman that he married. Boy, I told you, boy, he got him an exotic. She bad, boy. I don't want to really harp on how bad she is because I don't make it make it a point to be looking at the next man's wife. That ain't my style at all. I'm not into going after anybody wife, point blank, period. Because nah, I'm not into mixing DNAs with motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? That ain't my deal. It's a lot of broads out here. Why I got to take the next man, try to take the next man stuff. What, I ain't got enough game to go get my own? Nah, I ain't feeling it. I don't give a fuck what them rap motherfuckers say. That ain't my deal. You know what I'm saying? But you can see why he was like, you know what? I don't know if I want to fight no more. Maybe I just want to travel the world, go fishing, go hunting, live off the land. Me and my queen. It take a lot to get in that ring and do this for a living, bro. Punches hurt, man. Punches hurt like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Thurman was catching Pac straight down the hatch when he did catch Pac. That's the truth. That's the truth, man. He was lining Pacquiao up for some big. Pacquiao took some heavy, heavy shots, man. Heavy shots for Keith Thurman, and he stood. That is a little scrappy little bastard, man. Uh, in the Neri fight, I'm gonna make this quick, and then I'm gonna bring this thing to a closure. In the Neri fight, I thought he fought very patient. Um, for a while, I thought Payano was going to end up cruising to a decision because he was getting his shots off, whether they were landing flush or not. He was busy, and a lot of the judges tend to score for activity. But Neri was very patient. He never got frustrated in the ring, and even though Payano was upping the pace on him, when Neri would come in and get his shit off, Neri was countering to the body. He'll send three downstairs, boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? And Payano was using the ring. He was using the ring well. He was getting his shots off. And when he got in close, he would tie up Neri and until the ref came and reset those guys. And that's how he avoided fighting on the inside too much. But as the fight progressed, those body shots that Neri landed on him when Payano was coming in started to pay dividends. As Teddy Atlas would say, he was taking the air out of the tires, so he wasn't able to use the ring the whole time like he was doing for primarily majority of the fight. And once he slowed the target down, then he started landing some heavy thunder on that boy, uh, which is typical Luis Neri, the bantamweight fighter. Um, and as they continue to fight on, he started, bringing the attack upstairs, hit this dude with some heavy shots to the head. And Payano's face really started to show the power that this guy Neri has. I mean, he was busting him up all around his nose, around his mouth. But Payano was still in there. He took a lot of shots, but he was still in the fight. He didn't go down yet. But I forget which round it was. These guys got caught up in the exchange near the rope, and Neri hit his ass with a clean ass liver shot, and that it froze him, and he dropped to the ground. That was the end of that thing, man. That's that liver shot I was talking about earlier in the video, man. That liver shot. Some people handle it better than others. You either gonna take it and camouflage the pain and continue fighting, or it's gonna freeze your ass and you're gonna drop, or you just gonna drop like a ton of bricks. Those are only three things that's gonna happen when you get caught with a liver shot, a good liver shot from a guy that can punch. In this instance, it was too much for Payano to continue, and Luis Neri moves on with 30 wins, 0 losses, and 24 VKO. And bring on that Inoue fight. Everybody hyping that Asian fighter, Inoue, and Neri has proven he is the next guy that needs to be considered, and that would be a great fight for Inoue's unified world titles. Inoue's a 3-division world champion, so I can see why he's getting the credit. Plus, he's knocking everything out. I can see why he's getting the hype behind him. But if anybody has proven that they belong in the ring with him, it's your boy Luis Neri. So props on Neri for winning the big fight on the big stage, man. You win, you move on. That's what the boy Chris Bird used to say. You win, you move on. When I get a chance to do it, I'm putting 500 on yard. Am I missing? Till next time, match. All right, D Block. Salute to the LDBC for sure that. LDBC, I fucks with the LDBC every day, all week. You know what I'm saying? Every week, They showed me all the love out, man, more love than I ever got. You know what I'm saying? And it's 100. So the love is coming right back. They be hating on the LDBC, but I don't give a fuck. I don't give a damn. I don't like that shit, but I really don't care, man. If you got a channel, all you got on your mind is LDBC, man. You ain't nothing I want to be listening to. Straight up, straight up. If you can't talk about boxing 90% of the time and voice your little criticism here and there, I mean, everybody open to criticism. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it. But if all that's on your mind is the LDBC, man, who took your girl and smashed her while you was at work, bro? Why you so goddamn salty? Straight up, man. Get off a nigga dick. M Stacks 85 says, "What up, Ashley? What's up, fam? Just in this thing. I'm about to bring this thing to a close." June the Truth says, "LDB strong." Straight up. Straight up. I fucks with the LDBC, but I fucks with everybody who fuck with Ashy Knuckles. You know what I'm saying? But you can't be playing, you can't be dissing the fam on the blind side and then you be cool with me. You know what I'm saying? Keep your mouth shut. Straight up. Cause ain't nobody worried about LDBC, not worried about no other. I mean, I'm on the shows. I'm in the chat. I'm listening to everything they say. If they ain't talking about boxing, they talking about some women or world issues that affect the black community. They're not going out of the way to go talk about other channels and stuff like that. They mostly talk about it Eddie Hearn whole ass or the landscape of the sport of boxing. They're not going out of their way to go talk about nobody else. So it's just hating him. You know how it is. They always got to find something to dislike. Fuck them. Stay Ready says Ashy Knuckles real shit. If you got a channel and all you can do is bring up LDBC, you on some gay shit, some motherfucking queer shit. Straight like that. Go to Montrose with that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Go to Austin with that bullshit. You know? Fuck all that. That shit ain't even cool. I fucks with the LDBC tough. But anyway, man. Salute to the mighty. You know what I'm talking about? Salute to the mighty, man. And make sure on Monday, y'all go check out Trill Boxing Talk. Y'all go check out Junior the Truth. The day gonna start with Junior the Truth. As far as I know, it's gonna be Junior the Truth. And then you slide over to Trill Boxing Talk. And then I slide over to Fanon. If there's any more shows out there that I'm missing, y'all gotta let me know about them because everybody's stuff don't show up in my feed. You know what I'm saying? But those three for sure, I always check out during the week. Got to check out the homie Stay Ready. Boy, be jamming that screw on the videos. You know what I'm saying? Check out everybody's shit. Fucks with the LDBC, man. You ain't gonna be disappointed. Anybody watching this in an archive, this your first time, listen to the homie Ash. Let's chop it up, man. Subscribe and come back after the fights. We'll do what we do. You know, hit that notification button. Um, until the next time, it's your boy Ashy Knuckles, man. I appreciate everybody who came out to fuck with me, man. Till the next fight, man. I'ma holler. Be easy.